Hey, Family Coach B here. I wanted to come today to talk about transition. And I want to talk about how and why, or why and how we should embrace transition. And as I'm speaking, now this is one of those videos, you guys know I try to come up here and be brief, but I want you to make sure you definitely stay with me until the end of this video so you can really get some jewels and some gems that I'm dropping. But also, when I'm speaking of transition, think of it as growth. Think of it as evolution, self-evolution. Think of it as a season change. A lot of us use those terms. So all of those mean transition when I'm speaking about it in this video. So a lot of us are going through transition right now. A lot of people go through transition as the seasons are changing around us, because that can cause, your emotional health to change and your mental health to change and your physical health even. So a lot of us are going through transitions right now, and transitioning can be very difficult. It can be intense. It can be uncomfortable. So I want to hope today that after hearing this, you'll feel like it's a little bit easier to go through transition. So first, I'm just going to talk about 2 reasons why you should accept transition. Number 1 is transition is going to happen regardless. Whether you like it or not, whether you love it or hate it, transition is going to happen. We are ever evolving creatures. That means we're constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly changing. There's no way, being a human on this planet, that you can not grow and change. Now, granted, we grow and change at different levels, but something about you is going to constantly change. Just like your physical body changes, you change as a human. Your thoughts change. Things that you once thought you now disagree with. It's going to happen. So that's one reason why. Second reason why is this goes to protecting your space and your peace and your mental health. If you ride the wave and you go with the transition, it's going to make it so much easier. If you're fighting the transition, we just said it's going to happen regardless. So there's really no need for you to fight it. It's going to happen. So as uncomfortable as it might be, it's going to feel a little bit less pressure if you just go with the transition. And lastly, why you should accept transition is because most of the time, this is gonna sound difficult. Most of the time, it's elevation. It's something better coming for you. It's like the caterpillar going to the butterfly. So you want to go ahead and accept it because you're going to be going to a new level, but it's going to be the next level. Now, granted, I know, trust me, I know it does not always feel like you're going to the next level. I know. And I hate to be that person that's like lessons and blessings, and it might have been rough, but you learned so much. But it's true, guys. And I've transitioned so many times, and I'm wiser, I'm stronger, I'm more confident because of all the hell that I lived through and went through during transitional phases of my life. So accept it because it is a part of your next level, your next step. Those are my 2 reasons why you should accept the transition. And then I'm going to give you 4 ways on how to accept the transition, because I want to give you guys tangible help and things that have worked for me, things that I'm using right now in my life as I'm transitioning. So number 1, this is usually number 1 for any tools that I'm going to give you guys. It's going to be number 1 or the last one. Accept and acknowledge. Accept the fact that you are going to go through transition. Acceptance and acknowledgement is the first step to anything, because once you accept it and acknowledge it, that leaves room for you to understand it, to embrace it. So accept that I am going to go through transition as a man, as a woman, from high school to college, from married to divorced, from mother to empty nester. I'm going to transition. So accept that, acknowledge it, and that's going to open you up to the ease of it, because there can be ease in transition. Number 2, a great way to transition is mentorship. I'm a strong believer in mentorship. And what do I mean by that? Having a mentor that I'm recommending for this that is a little bit older than you, a little bit or a lot of bit older than you. You want somebody that has maybe gone through what you're going through. So a lot of people will have career mentors. A lot of people in the church will have a mentor, a spiritual mentor. Outside of the church, they have a spiritual mentor. Find someone, I say outside of family, that can mentor you, someone that has gone through what you are about to go through, someone that can give you advice, tools, things that help them, ways they got around it. Number 3, read. I feel like we don't read enough in our society just because of, where we are in society. But read about your next phase. Read about what it's like to transition. If you know that my transition is definitely going to be this, then read up on that topic. Read up on that subject so you have knowledge about what to expect or what it looks like. And with reading, you can also do Google and YouTube. There are videos everywhere about everything. Everywhere about everything. So maybe, you might not want to read. I encourage you to read, but you might not want to read all the time. So go find a video about someone, that has transitioned. And lastly, prayer, meditation, and silence. I want to leave you guys with this. Transitioning, again, it can be uncomfortable. It can be unexpected. It can be unwanted. And when it comes, we're oftentimes not prepared. We were in our flow and things were going good, and all of a sudden it's like life is like, hey, I'm here. And it's like, okay, now what? It's like transition almost happens like you're in it. You wake up and you're in it. You're like, how did I get here? When did this happen? There's no preparation most of the time. So you're just there. So now that you're there, what do you do? Because you were not able to properly prepare, what do? You pray, you calm yourself, you meditate, you sit in silence. Why? Because now is the time you need to hear. You need to hear yourself. What is happening in me? What am I feeling? I'm thinking differently about some things. What is going on in my members? You need to slow yourself down. You need to pray. You need to ask God for guidance. Help me, direct me, show me what this looks like. You need to meditate. You need to calm your mind, calm your spirit. Because when we calm ourselves, when we silence ourselves, revelation will come because you're now not distracted. So that is what I'm recommending to you guys. Accept the transition and understand those 4 ways on how to accept it. I will put everything in the description box below. But leave a comment below and give me a hands up or something if you are currently going through a transition. And if you know somebody else going through a transition, a life transition, be sure to share this video with them so they can get some tools on how to get through it. Love you guys so much. Peace and blessings, Coach B. And be sure to sign up for the Change Agents Nation email list so you can get all the exclusives. And that will also be below. Peace, guys.